Okay, this video is going to be hopefully short and just trying to get you guys to see some of the critical steps to get you over the hump here to be done with the Automo blocks. So for our class, what you see on the screen here, the required pieces for our assembly. It was the passenger section is the first piece I put in grounded. I've got the front, the truck bed, 4 tire wheel assemblies, sub-assemblies, and the windshield. Okay, I'm going to put on just a couple pieces here and show you critical steps again, and then you'll go on. So for putting the front or the truck bed on, I would use the wood, just mate. So I'm going to do a constrain. I'm going to choose this mate, oppose mates, and I'm going to choose the surfaces that should kind of kiss. So I've got that surface, and I'll put the truck bed on, and that's going to mate with that surface. Hit apply, and then after that, I'm just going to flush the sides so that it can't move side to side. Let those sides stay flush. And then I'm going to flush the bottoms, because without flushing the bottoms, you can see it can move up and down. I want the tops or the bottoms, either way. So maybe I'll do the tops since the tops are already in view. Top to top, flush those, apply, close. There you go. All right, so there's that. When it comes to the windshield, I will just quickly show. So oppose mate. The windshield's going to, it's got this piece that comes down into the passenger section. But how far down it slides really should be when this right here, that plane, that lip, touches the wood. So I would do a constraint, a mate constraint with the top of the car and then this surface right there. Okay, and then okay, and maybe it's not turned the direction you want. It's kind of backwards, but that's okay. You'll just apply some other constraints and that will turn it around. So for example, it actually makes it easier on me that it's backwards right now. These little tabs are what would make contact with the wood. They stick out further. So you want to figure out what tab is going to touch what wall inside that cavity. And so this is actually going to touch the back wall, that little surface right there. So I'm going to get that surface and I'm going to get it to the back, and you see it flipped it around, apply. I'm going to have to do the same thing with the side so that it stops moving side to side, okay? So I'll let you fix that, and let me put on one wheel. All right, so to do the wheel, you're going to use the insert constraint right here, and you're going to get the center, okay, axis of the wheel, but you're also looking at the circle that you highlight, and you want to get this right on the edge, okay, one of these two circles, they're concentric, and then that circle is going to line up with what circle on the axle. We want to be careful what circle we're highlighting. It shouldn't line up with this one or this one. The wheel should slide all the way on until that circle from the wheel would make it to this little flange. So basically that circle or that circle. So one of those two. Hit apply, close, and there you go. You can see the wheel spins on that. Okay, so finish up your full assembly. So that's step one. You got to get that done. Step two, you have your assembly. Make sure when it's done that your view cube is calibrated, okay? So if you click on a side and this is not orthographic, so I'm going to mess that up real quick. Okay, like that. So there's my front top right. That's not what I want. Okay, you have to use the look at tool right here. Choose the look at tool, pick a flat surface, and now the object will rotate orthographically to you. The view cube is not orthographic, so to calibrate so they're both orthographic at the same time, do not worry about that this is not the view you want to call the front right now. Just right click, set current view as front or top, it doesn't matter which one. All you're doing is making this orthographic while this is. Now we can rotate 90-degree increments using the arrows, and we can get back to what we want to be the front view, and then repeat. Right click, set current view as front. There's my front top right. So when I bring this file into a presentation file or into a drawing file, and I bring in my front top right, it's looking at what was the front top right of this file. Okay, so make sure you save that, and you've got it. Okay, after you have this and it's saved, we'll do the exploded next. A new file, click on new, brings up this menu, and you need a presentation file to present the exploded assembly. So there's nothing here. It's a blank file. That's what it's supposed to be. Create file. You need to go find your file. Okay, I'm going to bring this in, and what I've learned is that bringing this truck in, it doesn't actually copy the calibration when you come into a presentation file, so you may want to click on that and say set current view as front, and then this orthographic, make this one your home button, set current view as home, fit to view. Okay, that way as we work on it, we can hit the little house and come back. I'm not going to do the full explode, but just show you really quick. It is simply using tweak component. It's grabbing a part and pulling. And then just close and tweak, pull and close over and over again. So tweak, pull and close, tweak, pull and close. Okay, now if your object doesn't go the direction that you intended, like that, you know, that's kind of awkward. That's not the way the axle would come out of that hole. It wouldn't slide along the wood, it would come straight out. Well, notice the arrow that's blue, that shows me the direction it's going to move in, either that or the exact opposite direction. So if I want to go along the z-axis instead of the x, click the little arrowhead, make that one blue, and then pull. Okay? And so all it is just repeating. Tweak, grab a part, pull it out, and close. And repeat until you've pulled this all apart. In the end, try to make sure that your parts aren't overlapping. You know, maybe I'd pull this tire out just a little bit further. I want a little bit of white between everything. If you have to rotate to see something, to grab it, like these axles, well, you're not sure from this view if you pulled enough that it's not going to be blocking or still visible, you know. So keep checking that back in the home view, your front top right ISO, that in this view everything looks good. And if it doesn't, then just go back, grab it, pull it again, and get it all situated, okay? So that's that. When you're done with that, save. Save your exploded view, okay? Next up, putting all this on drawing sheets. So select a new file, choose our Edgewood drawing title block. Here it is. And to bring a view in, you choose base. And we're going to bring in, you have to go navigate. Okay, fine, I'm going to bring in the assembled car first. Go find your file. Three things here. You get a preview of what you're going to get, but there's three things you need to do. You need to change the orientation to your isometric front top right. You need to change the scale. For me, I've found that the scale of about 1 to 1.25 is working decent. And you want to make sure the shading is on. We'd like it shaded, so check if that's on or off. Looks like it was already on. And then my preview looks good. I left click to place it and right click and say OK. There it is. I want to add a parts list. That's under the Annotate tab. Choose parts list. You have to choose the file again that created that view. So find your file again, hit open, hit OK, tuck it in the corner. It's a good practice. After that, you can come along and you can actually grab the vertical lines and you can resize column widths. You can even get rid of a column. Double click, right click on that column header, column chooser, and right here is where you manage your parts list. What things do I want to include in my parts list? And here they are. These are my choices. This is what's currently selected. If you'd like to unselect and get rid of a column, choose it here and say remove. OK, apply, and OK. And that makes it take up less room. Okay, to move your view around, grab that red dotted border. And last, put on balloons. It's a left click on the part, go diagonal, a left click to stop the diagonal run, turn horizontal, a left click again to end the horizontal run. The fixed part is what's going to stay. The balloon will snap right back to there when I right click and say continue. Okay, so again, it's a left click, left click, left click, and see that's the shape that's going to stay. My balloon will snap back to there where it's fixed. Right click and say continue and you've got that shape you want. These leader lines for the balloons, they should be diagonal with a little horizontal tail. Okay, try to make them parallel as best you can and organized. There you go, like that. Again, I'm not going to do it all. When you are ready to move on, come over to your browser. My balloon's still turned on. I'm going to right click and say escape to turn that off, but come over to your browser and right click and say new sheet. And now you can bring into the same file other drawings. Just repeat. Place fuse, base, choose your file. This time you want your exploded. It's a presentation file. If you're not seeing it in this list, make sure that what files of type are you looking for. You can look for all your Inventor files, or just parts, or just assemblies, or just presentations. This is called a filter. So set your orientation again, set your scale. Okay, make sure it's shaded. Looks like it already was. And just for the sake of time, I'm just going to go ahead and click. I'd probably make my scale a little bigger on that one. Okay, but there you go. So that's in. And if your scale's right, that's done. Then just come over here, right click, add a new sheet. And now you need to pick two part files, two dimension. So again, go back, find your part files. Now you want to look at part files and you pick. What do you want to bring in? The truck bed, an axle, you pick, okay? You pick a piece that you'd like to bring in, and then you're going to give me the front. Really for this one, just 2 views is good enough. Okay. Shade that one, dimension it, do that with 2 parts, and you are done.